Hey, this is Stop Stressing and Start Living with me, Dennis Crosby. And today I want to talk about giving. And this is for anybody who's ever given something, donated something, whatever, and still felt empty inside afterwards. And I know that because that's frequently how I feel when I give things to other people, whether it be a charitable donation, my time, service, whatever. I frequently felt like I was still empty inside. I felt no reciprocal feeling of like joy or happiness from giving. And it was really bothering me for a long time because I wanted to give more. Like I feel compelled to give, but I always felt so empty afterwards. And recently I was at a business event with a group of men, and one of them came up and talked about this charity. It was this charity about helping kids in India that were, I think, sex slaves or human trafficking, something along those lines in India. And it was a school. And they asked for anybody who could give to give. And at first I was like, okay, I'll do it. And sounds normal, right? You hear a good worthwhile cause, you want to give. And as I was thinking about giving, I was like, all right, well, I can give $100. Like, that's not too big of a stretch for me right now. And as I imagined myself giving it, I felt that feeling of nothingness again. Like this was just something that I'm sending off into the world. I'm probably going to feel empty afterwards again. And then something weird happened. The way to give versus everybody like raising their hand and all that was they said, okay, we'll post a PayPal link or go to the company's website, click on the link, and you can give right there. And the second I heard that, probably there was a thing that happened in my mind. It was like, oh, you're not going to get acknowledged for this. Don't do it. And that was a big light bulb moment for me where I realized that I was only giving because I wanted to be acknowledged for giving in that moment. I was doing it for public recognition that I was somebody who gives. And that is why I would have felt very empty afterwards, because other people's recognition and acknowledgement does nothing from a fulfillment standpoint, not in any real way. And have you ever felt like that? Where like you wanted to give, but it just felt like it was coming from the wrong place. It was coming from you needing something external versus wanting to give something from internally. And that led me down the road of thinking, where does true giving come from? Like, how do you get that sense of fulfillment from giving? Like, how you give in a way where you feel better than if you hadn't? And I realized that the only way you can truly give is when you feel like you have enough. It's taking my cup metaphor that I use frequently. When you fill up a cup and it's overflowing, that's that idea of abundance that people like to talk about. It's your cup overflowing with whatever resource it is. So let's say that you have tons of money coming in every month to the point where it's more than you ever need. From that point, you can truly start giving because you feel like you have more than enough. You're really giving to worthwhile causes because you care. Versus me, in my case, who didn't have a lot of money at the time, giving from a place of wanting recognition versus wanting to truly help with that money. And that made me realize that if giving comes from a place where you feel you have enough, then the way to get that feeling is purely to find an area where you feel you have enough and give some of that. So for me, right now, I feel like I have a wealth of business experience. I also feel like I have an abundance of time at this particular moment. So the things that I should be giving are my time, and possibly business advice. I mean, and right now I'm helping a friend of mine start her business and get that going. And I have felt a sense of internal fulfillment or sense of true reward from helping that. Because those are areas where I'm not feeling scarce. I'm not feeling a lack of. I'm truly giving because I can. So that was my big aha, my big takeaway from that. And what I'd like for you to do listening to this, if you feel like this is an area of your life you want to work on, then I want you to take a few minutes, reflect on one area of your life where you feel abundant in, where you truly feel you have more than enough. Maybe food, maybe time, it may be money, it may be an expertise, it may be anything. But find that one area and commit to giving that to somebody else today or this week. So an example is, if you feel like you have a abundance of time this week, go donate some of it. Go volunteer. Go help somebody clean. You wouldn't normally do. Like, whatever. Just give some of that time to somebody else who needs it. Somebody who feels like they don't have enough time. Alright? So, I appreciate you listening to me today. I know time is our most valuable resource, the one thing we can't buy any more of. So, the fact that you're spending that with me right now is always a blessing. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow.